Good day everyone. We are the group 5 and we will be discussing the topic malware. Here are the learning outcomes. By the end of this module, students will be able to number 1, explain the definition, the origin and purpose of malware. 2, list the different types of malware. 3, discuss the term virus and its types. And 4, to discuss on how to prevent malware. And this is the other topics that will be discussed by my group mates later on. I'm Richard C. Mariano and I will be discussing the definition, origin, and purpose of malware. So let's start to the definition of malware. What is malware? Malware, short for malicious software, is a blanket term for viruses, worms, trojans, and other harmful computer programs that hackers use to wreak destruction and gain access to sensitive information. Malware, short for malicious software, is a broad term encompassing any software designed to harm our computers, steal our information, or disrupt our systems. It includes viruses, trojans, worms, and other harmful programs. Viruses, trojans, and worms are all types of malware. For instance, when we are surfing on the internet, then there is a link that contains interesting articles. Actually, the link leads to a website that contains viruses and is used by hackers. Despite of being confused, we click it. Then, after we enter to the portal, there is an instruction saying that before we direct you, please provide this information. Then, because of being confused, we give our information like our names, age, phone number, and email without knowing it's a trick. Hackers use our information to use it in bad things or even use our information to snatch our identity. In saying, think before you click. Before we click on something, we should take a moment to consider a few things. For example, is the source of the link reliable? Could it be a phishing scam or trying to steal our personal information? Or maybe it's a piece of misinformation that could spread false ideas if we share it after clicking. As Microsoft puts it, malware is a catch-all term to refer to any software designed to cause damage to a single computer, server, or computer network. Like I said earlier, malware is designed to cause or harm our computers, our system, and our devices. Like if there is a type of malware in our computers or other devices, is hindi na mag-function ng maayos ang ating mga devices. And now, let's proceed to the origin and purpose of malware. The term malware was used in 1990 by Israel Radai, but malware itself existed long before that. People have been making harmful things for a long time, even before they had a name for them. The creeper virus, for example, was created in 1971, long before the term malware was used. Israel Radai was the first to use the term malware in 1990. He was a computer scientist who recognized that there was a growing need for a single term to describe all types of malicious software. Before that, people used different terms like virus, worms, or Trojan horse. Radai used of the term malware helped to unify the language we use to talk about these threats. One of the first known examples of malware was the Creeper virus created in 1971 by Robert Thomas at BBN Technologies. Robert Thomas was a computer engineer at BBN Technologies who is credited with creating the Creeper virus in 1971. This makes him one of the most pioneers of malware even though the term malware didn't exist at the time. Creeper was designed to infect mainframes on ARPANET, a precursor to the Internet. It wasn't designed to steal or delete data, but rather to demonstrate the ability of a program to move between computers without permission. It even displayed a message, "I'm the Creeper, catch me if you can." While Creeper was a relatively simple program, it was a significant development in the history of malware. It showed that it was possible to create programs that could spread themselves autonomously and infect other systems. Creeper was altered by computer scientist Ray Tomlinson. Ray Tomlinson modified the Creeper virus, adding the ability for it to self-replicate. This created the first known computer worm. While Creeper itself was a simple experiment, Tomlinson's modification showed that programs could spread themselves autonomously, making them more dangerous and harder to control. Malware, including viruses and worms, started appearing on Apple and IBM personal computers in the early 1980s. 1980 was a year of significant growth for the personal computer industry, and it set the stage for the rise of malware as more people started using computers and as the software became more complex, the potential for malicious programs to spread increased. In 1990s, with the rise of the World Wide Web and the commercial internet, malware became more widespread. Before the 1990s, it was like a small town with a few houses. Malware could only spread to a few computers. Then, in the 1990s, the internet exploded. It was like the town suddenly became a huge city with millions of houses connected by a network of roads. This made it much easier for malware to spread. More people had computers connected to the internet, giving malware more targets. The internet made it easy for malware to travel from one computer to another. Like a car driving on a highway, people started sharing files online, which made it easier for malware to spread through downloads. So the internet's growth was like a highway for malware. It allowed malware to spread quickly and easily, infecting more computers and causing more damage. Malware encompasses all types of malicious software, including viruses, and cybercriminals use it for many reasons, such as 1. Tricking a victim into providing personal data for identity theft. For instance, a fake email that looks like it's from your bank. It might ask you to update your account details, but it's actually a trap to steal your login information. This is called phishing. Number two is stealing consumer credit card data or other financial data. Some malware can secretly record your keystrokes when you're online banking or shopping. This allows criminals to steal your credit card numbers or other financial details. Then, ang magugulat na lang tayo na dahil wala na yung laman ng bank natin or yung ating online banks. Number three, assuming control of multiple computers to launch denial of self-service attack against other networks. Malware can turn your computer into a zombie, making it a part of a network of infected devices. Criminals can then use this network to launch attacks on other websites, causing them to crash. This is called a denial of service attack. Last, infecting computers and using them to mine Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. Imagine your computer secretly mining cryptocurrency using your electricity and slowing down your computer. This is called cryptojacking.
Good day everyone. My name is Jasmine Basawan and I am going to present the different type of malware. All malware type have one or many general characteristic. Isa na dito yung disrupt computer operation, steal data, install additional malware, and monitor user activity. Number one is virus. A virus is the best common type of malware that can execute itself and spread by infecting other program or files. Number two is worm. A worm can self-replicate without any host program and typically spread without any human interaction or directives from the malware authors. Number three, a Trojan horse. A Trojan horse is designed to appear as a legitimate software program to gain access to a system. Once activated following installation, Trojan can execute their malicious function. Number 4. Spyware. Spyware is mode to collect information and data on the device and user, as well as observe the user's activity without their knowledge. Number 5. Ransomware. Ransomware is designed to infect a user's system and encrypt its data. Cybercriminal then demand a ransom payment from their victim in exchange for decrypting the system's data. Number 6. Rootkit. A rootkit is created to obtain administrator level access the victim system. Once installed, the program gives threat actors root or privileged access to the system. Number 7. A backdoor virus or remote access Trojan, also known as RAT. A backdoor virus or remote access Trojan secretly create a backdoor into an infected computer system that enable threat actors to remotely access, alerting the user or the system security programs. Number 8. Adware. Adware is used to track a user's browser and download history with the intent to display pop-up or banner advertisements that lure the user into making a purchase. For example, an advertiser might use cookies to track the web page a user visits to better target advertising. Number 9. Keyloggers. Keyloggers, also called system monitor, are used to track nearly everything a user does on their computer. This includes emails, open web page, program, and keystrokes.
So hello everyone, I am Christine May Pardo and I'm going to discuss to you is what is virus and what is the type of viruses. So first, what is virus? So pag sinabi nating virus, ito yung computer virus, um, malicious code that is spread on its own without user knowledge. So, causing damage like corrupting files and destroying data, like cyber criminals design these viruses to exploit vulnerable system, gain control, and steal sensitive information, often by tricking users. So these are the type of viruses. The first one is resident viruses. So it resides in your RAM and interfere with system operation. They are particularly deceptive because they can attach themselves to file of your antivirus software. So the next one is more multipartite virus. So it infects the entire system by executing unauthorized actions on the operation system, folders, and programs. So direct action viruses. So specifically target executable files by replacing and infecting them, making them easier to detect and remove due to their focused nature. So next one is the browser hijacker. These are the easily detectable viruses that infect your browser and redirect you to malicious websites. So the next one is the overwrite viruses. As the name suggested, overwrite the content of file to infect entire folder, files, and programs. The next one is website scripting. Viruses disguise themselves within the code of link, ads, image, videos, and websites code. They can infect system with users download malicious file and visit harmful websites. So the next one is file infector virus. So ang tina-target nito is yung executable file then causing programs to slow down and damaging system file when those files are run. So the next one is network viruses. So move through networks connections and replicate themselves using shared or resources. So we have the last one, which is the boot sector. So when we say boot sector, um, it hides in USB drives and emails attachments. So can damage the system by infecting the master boot records when activated. So they're relatively easily to avoid. So,
To prevent malware with phishing scam, email being primary vector by which malware infects computer, the best way to prevent malware is make sure your email system are locked down time. So, how to prevent malware? To prevent malware, focus on ensuring your email system and training users to spot phishing scam. Keep your system patched and updated and perform regularly. Backups your files regularly to protect against malware attacks.
Malware removal. How to remove malware once you infected. In the fact, the $1,000,000 question, malware removal is tricky business and the method can vary depending on the type you're dealing with. CSO has information on how to remove or otherwise recover from rootkits. So, malware removal depends on the type of malware. Use specialized tools like those from malware or follow guides for specific threats. Rootkits, ransomware, past notable malware include I Love You, SQL, Slammer Configure, Zeus CryptoLocker, and Stackless. Malware example. I Love You, a worm that spread like wildfire in 2000 and did more than 15 billion in damage. And SQL Slammer, which ground internet traffic to a halt with minutes of its first rapid spread in 2000.
So good day everyone, I am Roslyn Seafarer and let's start about understanding how criminals operate. They don't just attack randomly. Instead, they focus on targets that will give them the biggest profit over the years. The type of malware they use has changed depending on what works best for them. So, criminals always focus on the most profitable targets. Their goal is to infect victims who offer the highest chance of success and the largest potential payout over the years. So, the types of malware and the victims have changed based on what criminals believe will give them the best return on investment or the ROI. So, recent studies shows that malware tactics and targets are shifting. Crypto miners, which used to be the most common type of malware, are becoming less popular due to the decline in cryptocurrency value. Meanwhile, ransomware attacks are becoming more focused, moving away from random attacks. So, sa madaling sabi, ang mga hacker ay hindi basta-basta lang pumipili ng target. Ang goal nila ay kumita ng malaki sa pinakamabilis at pinaka-epektibong paraan. Kaya habang nagbabago ang teknolohiya, nagbabago rin ang diskarte nila. Kung dati mas laganap ang crypto mining, ngayon mas dumadami ang target attacks tulad ng ransomware at information stealing malware. So, malware attacks on businesses spike. Now, let's talk about how businesses have become the primary target of malware attacks. So, before, individual users were the main victims, but now hackers have shifted their focus to companies because of the bigger financial rewards. So, malware attacks on businesses increased by 79% in 2018 compared to 2017 as reported by Malwarebytes Labs. Traditionally, malware infections were more common among consumers, but cybercriminals have now shifted their focus to businesses. So, older consumer targeted malware is being upgraded to attack businesses. A key example is Emotet, a malware that steals information installs by other malware. so spreads across networks and even sends spam emails. Originally, Emotet targeted individuals, but now it has evolved to infect corporate networks. Study shows that 60% of malware attacks on businesses are designed to spread within the network. So one possible reason for this shift is the introduction to EU's General Data Privacy Regulation, or the GDPR, which made personal harder to steal. Because of this, hackers turn back to attacking businesses. So, dati, mas madalas na tinatarget ng malware ang mga personal devices ng consumers. Pero ngayon, ang mga negosyo na ang primary target. Bakit? Kasi mas malaki ang pwedeng kitain sa businesses networks kumpara sa individual users. Kapag nahack ang isang company network, maraming computers ang pwedeng ma-infect at malaking halaga ang maaaring hingin kapalit ng data o system access. So lalo na ngayong mas mahirap na ang magnakaw ng personal data dahil sa regulations tulad ng GDPR, kaya nag-a-adapt ng cybercriminals at bumabalik sa pag-atake ng businesses. So crypto mining attacks decline. Next, we'll discuss why crypto mining attacks are becoming less common. There was a time when cybercriminals made money by secretly mining cryptocurrency using other people's devices, but now they started shifting to other methods. So, crypto mining malware, which was once very popular, started declining in the second quarter of 2018 due to the decrease in cryptocurrency value. However, there was still a 7% increase in crypto mining detections for the year. So cybercriminals are now focusing more on information stealing malware like Emotet, as it provides them with faster and more reliable profits compared to crypto mining. So the shift shows that hackers prefer direct that over mining digital currency. So, noong patok ang cryptocurrency, maraming hackers ang gumagamit ng crypto miners para kumita ng hindi napapansin, pero nung bumaba ang value ng crypto, mabawasan rin ang mga interest nila dito. Mas mabilis ang kita sa pagnanakaw ng data gamit ang information stealing malware. So, sa madaling salita, mas gusto ng hackers ang diretsyong pagnanakaw kaysa sa matagalang proseso ng crypto mining. So, ransomware becoming more targeted. Moving on, let's talk about ransomware instead of attacking random victims. Hackers now carefully choose businesses that are more likely to pay the ransom. This has led to an increase in ransomware attacks on small and medium-sized businesses. So, hackers are now targeting small and medium-sized businesses. So, for ransomware attacks, this is because SMBs often can't afford long downtimes, so they are more likely to pay the ransom to regain access to their systems. So, overall, ransomware detections declined by 26% worldwide in 2018, but in businesses, it actually increased by 28%. The most industries most affected include consulting, education, manufacturing, and retail. So these industries are targeted because they are more vulnerable and likely to pay ransoms. Cybercriminals always adapt to what works best, which is ransomware remains a major threat. So, imbis na random ang pag-atake, mas pinipili na ngayon ng hackers ang mga negosyo na hindi kayang huminto ng matagal. So, halimbawa, Kung ang isang retail company ay hindi makapagbenta dahil nahack ang kanilang system, malaki ang mawawala sa kanila, kaya mas mataas ang chance na magbayad sila ng ransom para maibalik agad yung kanilang operations. Kaya kahit bumaba ang ransomware cases globally sa business sector naman tumataas ito dahil mas targeted ang attacks. So, sa cybercriminals constantly adjust their methods to maximize profits. With the decline of cryptocurrency, hackers are returning to older but more effective malware strategies, focusing on businesses rather than individuals. Information stealing malware like Emotet, targeted ransomware, and lateral moving malware attacks are becoming more common to stay safe. Businesses and individuals need to improve their cybersecurity defenses and stay aware of evolving threats. So, ang bottom line, hindi titigil ang mga cybercriminal sa paghahanap ng mas epektibong paraan para kumita ngayon. Bumabalik sila sa mas matagal nang ginagamit na hacking methods dahil mas malaki ang potential na kita rito. So, para makaiwas sa ganitong attacks, mahalaga ang awareness at investments sa cybersecurity, lalo na para sa businesses na maaring main target ng mga hackers. So, thanks for listening, and that's all.